Yo, what's the deal? Back at it again. YouTube world, back at it. Figured I'd do a quick little video about this whole Puff, aka PDiddy verdict. Um, I feel like for the most part, that it's a good thing that it happened. He died the federal charge. That's a salute to not just to him, a victory for him, but also to like all black men in general. A lot of people don't understand like this is bigger than just Puff. Even though he's a celebrity and everything, at the end of the day, a lot of these situations and things of that nature have to occur nowadays in this day and age. Especially for us black men to be able to dodge Fed charges. That's the big time miracle, big time victory. That's always good, you know what I'm saying? For the simple fact that, the Fed charges is like a 97, 98 conviction rate. So basically it's a rarity that somebody actually beat those type of charges. So it's a victory on that level. Now, do I think he's guilty of certain things? Well, he's guilty of putting hands and feet on Cassie, guilty of that. So, there have to be some kind of, consequence for that. But in terms of everything else, nah. I think a lot of it is a money grab, like I've been saying. And if you check out my other videos talking about this whole Puff situation, check them out. My older videos. But I think it's overall a money grab, and this all stemmed from, like I said, back to that whole Diageo situation, Diageo company. I guess he pretty much won the lawsuit over the Ciroc and everything else. So basically, the power that be was basically putting him, I feel like, through a humiliation ritual overall. And now the thing is, with all this whole thing, of course, his empire, the whole bad boy empire, is not going to be the same. Because once you out those circles, that's it. Now, if they do let him back in the fold, they're gonna definitely put him through hoops and hurdles. But overall, I just think the whole verdict and everything was a fair one. Now, the part that I don't understand also is what I was hearing before, that then they deny him a bail again. Now, this don't make any sense, I don't really know Puff, or never ever met him at all personally, but I could say this. I think the way how they doing things to him is a little bit too over the top. It's a little bit too overboard, I feel like a lot of times, the justice system just goes to show that it's pretty much unfair and very biased. And especially him being a rich black man, a lot of times, hate to say, but society, let's keep it real, society don't like that too tough, and it's a sad thing, but that's a whole nother topic for another time. Like I said, this is all a target for the most part because he's a rich, successful black man, and he just angered the powers that be, and they're making him pay overall. You check out my last couple of videos that I've done about this whole Puff thing to see even more of my opinion slash what I feel, which is actual facts for the most part. Matter of fact, all actual facts, because it was right there for the whole world to see, which is like, basically, like I said before, this is a non-biased channel, but I'm very fair and I look at everything from both sides. Like I said, do I think he deserves to pay for what happened with him and Cassie? Yeah, there gotta be some kind of punishment. But at the same time, the way how they're going about it is a little bit too much of it's too harsh of a punishment. And I think that's the problem with the law system. They pick and choose who they really want to stick it to. There's even people that happen to have have done worse things than him, which has happened, and they happen to get off scot-free. I think personally the whole law system, a lot of things gotta change with it. I think it's always with justice is blind, and most times, they go by the color of the skin. And I feel like since since he's very successful, it's an automatic target, you know. Like I said, so that doesn't help. And between that, the whole Diageo situation, the lawsuit, there's a whole lot of other things. And then, like I said, he also did an empowerment type speech at one of the award shows not like a while back. If people could look that up, you can see that clipping, I think probably on YouTube somewhere. But these are all facts that I'm stating, and where I see it for the most part is pretty much they doing them too dirty, and they just a messed up situation overall. But at the same time, I feel like also we live in so much of a bloodthirsty society, a world, period, because it's like it seems like so many people are just aiming, they just want him to go down so bad. But at the same time, there's other people that have been doing way more worse that hasn't gone down the way that he has and hasn't been dragged through the mud. So this is where I call definitely no type of inequality. It's basically unfair treatment. And at the end of the day, you gotta call a spade and cut it down the middle. Justice system needs to be more fair, and actually, because just denying him bail again, like that's crazy. That's something different. Basically, I feel like a lot of times this is something personal, but that's just me. Like I said, it goes back to some of the higher ups, and they're making him pay, and this is what it is. But we'll see what else happens with this whole Puff situation. I feel like my predictions, he may just get like 10 to 20. Probably actually, or it could go like 10 years, 5 years probation, or it could go like 5 years through time served and 5 years probation. But either or, it could go down like that. Before, I used to think he was going to serve at least 10 to 20, but I don't think he's going to serve at least 20. That's out the question. He dodged the Fed charges. I think he probably may serve like maybe, if I'm thinking, like I said, the most 10 years, but the least this is 5, and the other 5 will be probation if that's the case. But, hopefully it doesn't turn out into a situation like a Jeffrey Epstein. That's another prediction I may see. They may try to off him or whatever the case may be. I'm hoping not, because even though I'm not the biggest supporter of Puff, but just looking at it from a black man point of view, I wouldn't want that for anybody like that unless they're a complete menace to society, like some kind of Jeffrey Dahmer type, which have to be locked away and throw away the key. I'm fair at that matter, But like I said, this whole case, it basically stinks, and it's something that basically we just got to stay tuned and see what goes on with this. Even though, like I said, he's just a celebrity, this affects us overall as black people, black men too, especially. And it's a cautionary tale, The whole Mann Act also is, I think, need to be really looked into again and has to be reevaluated. A lot of things in the justice system, period, and the laws, all the laws, a lot of them have to be reviewed and just changed all over again. Because I think it's a lot of unfairness, because if that's the case, then a lot of dudes would be guilty of doing the same thing that Puff did. And there's plenty of dudes in the hoods that did the same thing over and over and 10 times back. So what's the difference now, So I feel like this is just a case of a rich black man being targeted for the most part, and get the powers that be. And if people don't see the play, then I don't know what to tell you. So we're out here, real talk, and it's on. But let me know what y'all think about this whole Puff verdict. Do y'all think that the whole thing was fair? Do y'all, let me know what your opinion is. Help share this video, help get into the algorithm and all of that. Like, subscribe, share 82 Brooklyn 7 on YouTube. Like, subscribe, share 82 Brooklyn 7 on YouTube. Also, 82 Brooklyn 7 TikTok, 82 Brooklyn 7 Instagram. Just check it out. Give me a holler, help share my videos, much appreciated. On that note, I'm Adi5, peace.